Okay, what's going on? LBHT crew B. What is going on? Oh, okay.
Oh, somebody didn't mute their phone is what's going on.
I know.
So,
Not right now. They need to be on the show. That's what they need to be. All right, y'all. It is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well. But if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. B. Tough Puppy is in
Tough Puppy.
early. He's ready to go. We got Derek Weatherly. What's going on? He'll be on the show later for the LBHT betters, the betting lines. Okay. Tony Hendo's in the house. What's going on? Chris Hall. What's going on, Chris Hall? Appreciate you coming through. Felipe Moreno is here early. He said this week will be Bollywood Brown or Hollywood Brown. Ooh.
I don't appreciate the disrespect to Bollywood right there. Okay.
They put out quality movies. Raven Ron is in the house.
What's up, Eric L?
Eric L is in the house. Thank you for coming through, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, we got a packed house.
We got Yazar up in here. What's up, Yazar?
Baja is here. He said, "What it do, y'all? Long time." Okay, all right. Thanks for coming through. Yes, Panthers are 3-0.
That's right. That's
King
right.
of Pugo. What's up, man?
What's up, King?
Man, you guys are here early. Jake Paul is back. Jake Paul is back, y'all. What's going on?
Oh, man.
I'll tell you what's going on, man. Week 4 of the NFL is here. We got Panthers versus the Cowboys. Big matchup. 1 o'clock matchup. We got to discuss that. We got the Ravens facing the 3-0 Broncos. There's some big matchups here. So it's test for both the Ravens and the Panthers this week to kind of see where we're both at. So we got to discuss that. Maybe we'll get into a little bit of boxing, a little bit of UFC. But first, if you're new here, take a minute to hit that like button. Also subscribe. Yes. All right. Also, right above me, you can follow us. That's our social media at LBHT Show, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. All right. So those are ways that you can find us. So, Davon is here. What's going on, Davon? Appreciate you coming through. All right. So we're gonna get into some NFL, obviously, and if we got some time, maybe we'll do a little UFC, a little bit of boxing. What's up, Couch Rider Raven?
What's going on, man?
All right. But before we do our show, we like to start every show with a Black History fact. And B has got a Black History fact for you.
Yeah. Just a quick fact here. I want to recognize one of the figures from Black history who's not really talked about very often. You know, nobody likes to talk about judges, right? It's not exciting or anything. But William Hastie, who was born in Knoxville, Tennessee in 1904. He attended Amherst College, then went on to Harvard to get his doctorate. He was appointed by the Roosevelt administration as a federal judge. He was the first African-American federal judge in U.S. history. He also worked in the Department of the Interior, where he actually drafted a constitution for the U.S. Virgin Islands, which had kind of just become a territory of the United States. And, you know, if you guys don't know, that's where half of our family is from. So that kind of caught my eye when I was looking at it.
That's right.
He left the Department of the Interior, you know, was working as a judge again, and then was actually appointed as governor of the U.S. Virgin Islands, which actually made him also the first African-American governor to serve a full term. So a lot of firsts for Mr. Hastie. He was actually looking to become, or a lot of people thought he would become, the first Black Supreme Court justice. The nomination, unfortunately, never came. That went to Thurgood Marshall in 1967. But William Hastie was appointed as a federal judge. He was confirmed in 1950, spent about 20 years on the bench, and then retired and went on to do some activist work until he passed away in 1976. So I just wanted to highlight, you know, the public service career of former lawyer and judge and governor of the U.S. Virgin Islands, William Hastie.
That's right. And shout out to Ravi Singh. He says, very cool. Start with history. Yes, every show we start out with a Black History fact. Dope facts, man. If you're new here, check out some of the replays. And we cover all kinds of different Black History facts, man. They're sometimes they're real serious. Sometimes they're entertaining, you know, but always interesting. He says, "Shout to the greatest import, Tim Duncan." Yes, from St. Croix. From St. Croix. Our brother actually went to school with Tim Duncan.
Yeah,
back in like grade school, I think.
Did not bother to introduce us, but that's all right though. What's up,
living legend? Okay, Davon said, "Baby mom's from the VI." That's what's up. Okay. See that? Yeah, look, they're everywhere. Another unsung hero of the NBA from the Virgin Islands, Raja Bell.
I thought you were going with your Brooklyn Nets and Nick Claxton, although he's not really from
his family's from it's from St. Croix, I believe. Yeah,
that counts, man. That counts.
Yeah, it counts. It's close enough. Yeah. Okay, so where do we want to start? Do we want to start Panthers? Let's start with some Panthers Cowboys.
Don't you start in here, Just Allo. Don't you do it.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. That's an argument for the overtime show. If you guys want to be a part of overtime show, patreon.com/LBHT show. That happens right after the main show. Yeah. We're going to start with the Panthers and Cowboys. All right. That's the 1 o'clock game. Ravens are a 4 o'clock game.
With the superior team.
What? The Cowboys?
That is what? No. 3-0 Carolina Panthers. Really getting their first test this week, I think. The Saints, they're a decent team. They had a lot of guys out. Whatever, Caleb. They had a lot of players out. They had a lot of coaches out. So it turned out that wasn't much of a test there. And then also obviously they played the Jets and the Texans. So this week they're going up against the Cowboys, who have honestly been looking really, really good so far this season. They're 2-1. They lost a kind of a nail biter to Tampa Bay to open up the season. But Dak has been looking great. Ezekiel Elliott, he appears to be back into his former form. Pollard has been playing really well as his kind of counterpart in that backfield. I think they're more of a tandem than a 1 and a 2 at this point. Obviously they've got CeeDee Lamb, who looks like he's going to be a superstar. They've got Amari Cooper, who's a pretty solid, steady receiver there. They will be without obviously La'el Collins, who is suspended because he's a cheater, like all Cowboys. They are also going to be without Michael Gallup, who is on IR, and DeMarcus Lawrence, who is still on IR as well. But even with those guys out, it's easily the biggest test for Carolina, and especially since we're going to be missing Christian McCaffrey and J.C. Horn, as well as Justin Burris.
First of all, I'm going to say that La'el Collins he just wants it that bad, okay? Mm-hmm. He wants it that bad. Isn't that what they said about who's that baseball player? Andy Pettit? And Andy Pettit,
yeah, he's doing it for the fellas.
He's doing it for the team, man. Look, listen. Like, if you're gonna cheat, man, look, that's what you do, right? When all else fails, look, man, how much is it gonna take to make this go away? Okay, how much? Like, you can say what you want about La'el Collins. I respect the fact that he said, like, I'm just, hey, it is what it is, man. I'm out of options here. How much you want? Okay, right. I respect that. Do you guys remember when this is like the 5th time the Patriots got caught cheating. Like the last time when they got caught filming the Bengals. Have you guys heard the audio of that? Bengal security caught the film guy, and this guy, he was just like, "Look, tell you what, guys, I'm just going to erase it right now. No harm done. No, no foul, no harm. It's just you go about my way. You go about your way. I go about my way.
You guys cool? I thought you guys were cool."
Like, yeah.
Nobody say anything. Let's just go about our business.
Look, cheating is a part of sports, man. That's all good, man.
That's right. It happens. As Couch Riders alluding to here, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
There you go. I can respect that. And shout out to our man Brian DJ Boone. He's also he's got a show, Smoke Break Live. I think he has a show tonight or tomorrow night. It's on YouTube. You can check it out. Smoke Break Live. He always supports, man. He's watching over on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, you can watch over there. There he goes, right there. Okay, there he is. He said, "Peace, y'all. My Giants suck." Oh, wow. Yeah. You talk to our man Ferris. Ferris is in the house too. Also, I forgot to mention. For a super chat, if you guys that are new here, if you're looking for a super chat, that pinned comment that you see, That's for our Streamlabs. That's what we use for super chat. Also, right above B, $LBHT Show. Okay, that's our Cash App. Those are two ways that you can donate, leave your comment, and we'll read it on air. All right. Okay. But okay, back to the game.
So we got Jay Will asking, is JC Horn out for the season? They haven't said specifically yet. They're hoping that he'll be back later in the year, but it's kind of a little up in the air right now. That is, kind of why they went out and made that blockbuster trade this past week. They sent a 3rd-round pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars for CJ Henderson, who got drafted 9th overall last year. Now, it was going to be just a 3rd-round pick, but apparently the GM over in Jacksonville was pounding the table and said, if you don't put Dan Arnold in this deal, then the deal's off. So Carolina also traded
Fitterer, I'd have been like, yo, maybe you haven't heard, but there's this thing called Darnold to Arnold, and we can't break that up. So
exactly.
What you gonna do?
That is not what Scott Fitterer said. He said, oh, that's it? Okay. And Dan Arnold is now a Jaguar. And so CJ Henderson is going to be filling in. He's practicing in full. He's going to play. So he's going to be filling in for JC Horn. Not sure how I feel about that deal.
I was going to ask you, how do you feel about it? Because I have mixed feelings too, right? Yeah. Like, he hasn't played well, obviously, but I mean, he just got drafted, right? And he missed a good chunk of the season last year as well. You know what I mean?
Right. He only played 8 games last year. Didn't look great. Obviously, and I don't even think it's his play, because if you're giving up on a guy that you drafted in the top 10 after 8 games, it has to be something other than his play.
Maybe right? Attitude.
I'm assuming it's something like that. But who has a good attitude in Jacksonville?
But right? That's my point. Yeah, exactly right. Like, everybody wants to leave Jacksonville. Like, nobody wants to be there. He didn't have a choice in going. He got drafted there. Think about it. You're a top player, and you get drafted to a team that the NFLPA had just put out a memo saying don't sign there, right? Like, they're like, the NFLPA put out a memo. Was it last year or the year before?
I think it was a couple years ago.
I think it was a year before last. They put out a memo saying, you guys, if you're a free agent, you need to stay away from the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're doing all kinds of shady stuff over there. Okay. That was an official memo they put out. So yeah, you're a rookie. You're like, I don't want to play there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Stop you there. We did get a Cash App, an anonymous Cash App for most excellent work, big timers. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate that. You want to be awesome like the anonymous donor there. You can hit up the Cash App right above B, $LBHT Show, or you can hit that Streamlabs link. Okay. What were you gonna say, B? I cut you off.
So after 8 games, he didn't look, he was kind of up and down, right? But from what I've heard, he played really well in the preseason. It's preseason, but it's worth the risk, I think. With JC Horn out for an extended period. And also, just moving forward, to have JC Horn and CJ Henderson, if you can get them to play anywhere near that draft position of a top 10 corner, that's a steal.
It's a steal. Yeah.
And also, the Jaguars have to pay all of his guaranteed money, or most of his guaranteed money. So he's coming at a discount. They're not even having to pay him like a top 10 pick.
And you get that 5th year out of him too, if he works out.
Right.
So you have a young defense for cheap right now.
Yeah. So overall, I think it's a good deal. It was a good move to make, right? The only thing I'm wary of is I personally wasn't high on CJ Henderson coming in to the draft, so him not looking great as a rookie kind of really cemented that in my mind. And I'm not thrilled with not having a 2nd and 3rd round pick in next year's draft at this point. But again, if he plays well, then it's more than worth giving up that 3rd round pick.
Now, this is kind of it's kind of opposite feeling that we have on Sam Darnold, right? Because I know a lot of people were like, well, hey, he came from a bad situation, and better situation, he'll play better. And so far, he has played better, I guess, right? But I'm still not high on Sam Darnold as a player, because yes, he was in a bad situation, but he didn't look good at all. Right. You know what I mean? And he played for 3 years. 3 years.
Yes.
He has 3 years of bad tape.
Yeah.
Whereas this kid, he only had like 8 games. So I'm a little bit more optimistic that they can turn it around with him. And Sam Darnold, to Living Legends point, he's winning right now. And he hasn't looked bad. But this is going to be a big test. This is going to be a big test because the Cowboys are a very good team, explosive offense, and even though Carolina has a monster defense, I think Dallas is still going to put up some points, and we're going to see how that offense responds without Christian McCaffrey, who I see ABC Def is in the chat just bashing Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, I'm just stop it. All right? Just stop. Because again, if you want to trade Christian McCaffrey, y'all should be hopping on the phone to trade J.K. Dobbins also, right?
I will say this. We've said this in the past. If you're going to trade him, like now's the time to do it, right? Because, yes, he got a huge contract, and typically for running backs, you're only going to get value out of that contract, like the first few years, like 2, maybe 3 years out of that contract. Until they get a little bit older, or in Christian's case, he gets hurt, and you start looking around and saying, "Man, I gotta pay these guys over here. I gotta pay this guy," and Christian just ain't worth that money, But you can't trade him either because he costs too much, Right. So, he has been injured, but they put a lot on him. Most players can't take that kind of workload. You know what I mean? Like 30 plus touches a game. Like,
and he's had one bad injury. They kept trying to rush him back. This injury, this hamstring injury, he's expected to miss a few games, and then he'll be back. He'll be fine. I think that they should look to trade him while his value is really high. I mean, he's one of the best players in the league, and I don't think that they're a Super Bowl contender right now. So I think that Christian McCaffrey would be more valuable to them in a trade than he is just on the roster at this point. But he's not like injury prone and all this stuff like that. No, he's fine. For this week though, man, like you saw it last week, as soon as McCaffrey went out of the game, the offense went a little haywire. Now they recovered. They did recover, but again, they were playing the Texans, right? Yeah. The O-line, not particularly good. And they haven't really faced any top tier pass rushers yet. DeMarcus Lawrence is out, but they are going to be going against Micah Parsons this week, right? The Dallas defense is playing much better than they have in the recent, in recent seasons. So it's going to be difficult for Carolina's offense, without McCaffrey and now without Dan Arnold. We'll see how they do defensively. I mean, they're the best defense in the league at this point, but the NFL favors the offense, and Dallas has a great offense, and great offense beats great defense. So I do expect Dallas to be able to put up some points, and I'm actually thinking that this is going to be the first L for Carolina. I think that they will probably go down. I think it'll be, fairly low scoring. I'm going to say Dallas 24, Carolina 17.
Okay. And shout out to E. I see you in the chat, man. He says running backs don't last long. No, most players don't last long in the NFL. All right. It's hard to say how long a player is going to last in the league, especially nowadays, because athletes take care of their bodies a whole lot better. Yeah. Like my man Frank Gore, he's still out there. I don't think he's on the team right now. Is he? Anybody sign him this year?
He was with the Jets. I'm not sure if he still is.
I mean, Frank Gore was from the U back in the U days, right? Like
he had a couple major injuries before he got to the NFL.
Like he started over guys in college that are retired in the NFL now, that have had lengthy careers. You know what I'm saying? And he's still going. His son is in college now. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to say, man, like how long a player is going to play now, any position, even running back. And Christian McCaffrey takes care of his body. So just because he started out with a few injuries doesn't mean he's going to wear down anytime soon. So
look at C-Mac and Dobbins. Dobbins is shorter, but he has a bigger frame than C-Mac. That's just genetics. But Dobbins has had
Dobbins is hurt.
Injury. He's had the much worse injury.
ABC Def, you couldn't have picked a worse example. I mean, you couldn't have said Dalvin Cook. You couldn't have said Alvin Kamara. Although I think they've all been hurt. Like players, I mean, this is football. Players get hurt. Yeah, that's fine. But don't pick a guy that's currently on IR.
Which is why we talked about just dialing back the touches for Christian McCaffrey. They lean on him and lean on him and lean on him and lean on him. And of course, players, are going to break down that way. They drafted Chuba Hubbard. They signed Royce Freeman. They needed to use them more often, and now they're going to be forced to. Right?
Yeah.
So
Look at what Cleveland is doing with Nick Chubb, right? And Kareem Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Like Nick Chubb doesn't get that many carries compared to other running backs. I mean, he gets the yards. He's a beast, but they use Kareem Hunt quite a bit to keep Nick Chubb fresh. So, I mean, that's what you need to have nowadays, a good 1-2 punch. And the Ravens, to their credit, they are doing that, I mean, the guys are hurt, but even now, okay, they had to go and sign a whole bunch of running backs. They went and got some more. Instead of calling it the fountain of youth, call it the fountain of gore. Man, no kidding. No kidding.
Yeah. What's up, Noah?
What's up, Noah? He said, sorry, he's late. Noah's hanging out on our Discord. Okay. So, I mean, that's like, it's a lot of fun in there. All right. 38 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe, man. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers, man. 1,000 subscribers. We might have to do something for that. I don't know. I have to think about something.
Yeah.
Yo, RTV is here. What's up, man? He said that's why he likes bigger running backs. We miss you, Gus the Bus. Why do you like bigger running backs? Because they don't get hurt? Because Gus is hurt.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Bigger running backs get hurt, Like
this is what we're coming around to here is that running backs get hurt. They get the ball a lot. They take a lot of hits. They get hurt. It's it's what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right. So you made your prediction. They're playing in Dallas too, huh?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh man. I always try to find a way for our teams to win. That's gonna be a hard one to win. This Dallas, this defense. What do you guys think? Yeah. Put your score predictions in there. What do you guys think? This is going to be a challenge for this defense. Without Christian McCaffrey, that's going to be, man. You still got DJ Moore. You still got Robbie Anderson. I mean, you still got some firepower.
He don't even throw it to Robbie. I don't know what Robbie did to him in New York, but he don't even throw him the ball.
Robbie, he gonna get the ball in this game.
Cleveland used a 2 running back system like the Giants did with Jacobs and Bradshaw. The difference being Cleveland's running backs are very good.
Davon says 30-14.
Who, Davon?
JP says 2017. I'm going with JP's prediction. 2017. I'm picking Carolina. That's right.
My man said 30-14 Dallas.
Wow. Oh, disrespect here, Caleb. He says Dallas winning big 49-10.
We know what Caleb's about. We don't have to highlight his comments anymore.
Listen.
Caleb is on the Attitude Pop plan where you get your comments highlighted when you donate. Goodbye.
Listen, man. That ain't happening on that defense. No. That's not happening. Like they have the type of defense that'll play dirty to keep you from scoring that kind of.
That's what I'm talking about.
21-14 Panthers. Okay. All right.
Legend 24-21 Panthers. Okay.
Listen, Panthers Nation showing up tonight. Right. They in the house.
That's right. 23-19 Panthers. Okay.
Oh, okay. Man.
What's up, Emphasis?
What's going on?
A pick 6 with 25 seconds left.
Hey.
You don't want to give us the corner too? Give us the corner too, Emphasis.
Hey, Caleb, you better go and call your Cowboys backup, okay? I mean, I'm seeing they showing some disrespect towards y'all in here, okay? Call them in here.
35-10. Wow.
Wow.
Let's see. Listen, I don't even want to argue because it's the Sam Darnold show and I'm not convinced, but man, that hurt my feelings.
Now, Caleb says his defense will score without Christian McCaffrey, man. Like Sam Darnold is susceptible to mistakes. It could happen.
Yes.
It could happen.
Very, very interested to see how they perform this week. I'll leave it at that. Those 2 running backs won 2 Super Bowls, while the losers in Cleveland ain't done. Oh, I didn't read the end before I clicked on that. They were along for the ride.
Wait, which running backs you talking about?
He's talking about Bradshaw and Jacobs. They were along for the ride. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then he followed it up by picking the Cowboys.
Was Brandon Jacobs on that Super Bowl team?
I don't know. Ferris don't be looking up stuff before he talks.
Bradshaw was on that team. I don't think Jacobs was. Who was the running back?
I'm not sure. This is what I'm talking about, Eric Elm. 30-14 Panthers. Mr. Darnold with 250 plus passing yards and 3 touchdowns, 2 passing and 1 rushing.
I'll tell you what, this is a game where he can start to change my mind a little bit, because so far he hasn't changed my mind.
Absolutely. If he comes out and plays really well against Dallas, whether they win or lose, if he plays well, I'll be like, okay, you know what? He is turning it around, or he's turned it around.
Yeah. Will Wilt says Panthers going to get exposed. I mean, exposed from what? Like, nobody thinks they're good.
I don't think you can expose the defense. The defense is legit. I mean, I'm not saying that they're going to shut out Dallas. I expect Dallas to score, but the defense is legit.
Davon, this is Dallas. Yes. This is fake. This is fake support, Davon. We see right through this.
That's a 1 out of 10 on your troll attempt, sir.
He also says hashtag fact check Ferris. You got fact check Ferris. Okay, Caleb warned us about you, Ferris.
Davon.
Brandon, what's going on, man? Thanks for coming through. This game will show that Denver actually is okay. You're onto the Denver game already. Yeah. Oh man, Denver's opponents are 0-9.
Yeah, so far. You know, it's funny because I've seen people saying that, but the teams that Baltimore has wins over are 1-5. So you know. they lost to the one winning team they've played so far this year. in Vegas. So that's not the line that I would go with if I were a Ravens fan.
All right, so we can get to that game, but just for a quick review, B has Dallas winning 24-17. Yes. RTV says 21-17 Panthers. I'll put some respect on their name after that. Me too, okay, RTV. Me too.
There you go.
I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna pick. I'm taking JP's pick. 2017 Panthers. That's what I'm going with. 2017 Panthers. Now, when we do the pick 'em, I can't. Don't hold me to that.
Yeah, behind closed doors, it might be a different story. But in front of the cameras, they're all rah.
I'm gonna pick them. I'm gonna screenshot it, okay, just so you guys see. I ain't being fake with it. ABC Def says 38-17. Man, Cowgirls. You gonna say that Cowgirls and they put up 30 points against a top defense? Nah, man. Dak is playing amazing football right now.
He is.
Of course, when you have 3 top wide receivers like that, it ain't hard. Okay, all right. So. Definitely not picking this in the pick 'em. You don't know me. No, we're not in the Survivor League. Not in the Survivor League. We're in a pick 'em league for Let's Get Ready Network. No, of course not. I don't pick any tough games in the Survivor. You guys ever play Survivor before? You got
survive in advance.
Yeah, low hanging fruit. That's how you got to do it. Okay, guys. Ravens versus Broncos. All right. As our good friend Brandon Buck.
Hang on, just 1 second. I want to respond to Raven Ron before we move on here. He says, who in the Panther secondary stopping Cooper and CD Lamb? I don't know if you heard, Raven, but they just drafted for a top 10 pick or traded for a top 10 pick in CJ Henderson. Okay.
Yeah.
Shutting them down.
And you got Jeremy Chin.
The answer is no one, Raven. That's the answer.
Yeah, but no Lyle Collins, that D line is going
They're going to get after Dak.
Yes. Yeah. That defense is sick. They make plays. You can't shut down top tier players, right? They're going to get theirs. Well, at least a wide receiver. But overall, as a unit, you can play really well.
Yeah.
Living Legend say he forgot about the Pick'em League. Well, it's a Survivor league, and you're out, okay? Because you don't make a pick one week and you're out of it. So. One less person to have to deal with to get that trophy. If you guys don't know what that trophy looks like, and I want the trophy and I want the belt. All right. I want both of them. I don't care if it's for you guys. I want it. I'm going to show you. Okay. Because we were robbed of it last year from this man right here. This guy right here. He took my trophy. Man, he crushed us.
Yeah.
He crushed us. I need some redemption. So look, you guys are just going to have to look. It is what it is. All right. No mercy.
All right, so moving on to the Ravens and Broncos.
Yes,
that's another tough game for Baltimore. The Broncos are a little bit beat up right now. They don't have Jerry Jeudy. They don't have KJ Hamler, who just tore his ACL the other day. They don't have Bradley Chubb, who's also on IR. But they are 3-0. Teddy Bridgewater has been playing really well. They do still have Cortland Sutton, who missed all last year. He's back now. They have Noah Fant. They've got the run game going. The one weakness for Denver, the O-line, even against those 0-9 teams, as everybody likes to point out, They haven't done a great job of protecting Bridgewater. He's been sacked 7 times so far this season. Unfortunately, that's kind of like the one area that Baltimore can't really take advantage of. But we'll see. We'll see, right?
Yeah. Look, this is. I thought last week was a good test for guys like Owe, Dalen Hayes, for Tyus Bowser, right? Because yes, we got some guys that were out on the D line, but our young edge rushers were there. Dalen Hayes unfortunately got hurt. He's on IR now. Owe and Bowser didn't do a whole lot in that game, and that's okay, to be honest. Like, look, you're not gonna, sometimes you're just not gonna get to the quarterback. But this is another opportunity against not so great O-line, right? To see what you guys can do, and we got Brandon Williams back. Calais Campbell's there, so I expect them to, at the very least, not get gashed on the ground as well. Owe 2-sack game, over 200 yards rushing with a W versus the Donkeys. That's Raven Ron's prediction. Okay, now, me and B are both Teddy Bridgewater fans, right? But like, he's not I won't put him at top tier, right?
Right.
He's a solid quarterback that can manage the game well. But we didn't play a good quarterback last week either. And in fact, I would say Goff is a pretty bad quarterback. So he doesn't have to be great. He's definitely better than Goff, and he's got better weapons than Goff. Mm-hmm. So that's something to worry about. And our defense has not been playing well. Right. Like even at the full strength, with what we have. The secondary has been disappointing me. I know we play some good offenses, but we built this team to hold down those offenses, and we have not been doing it. And Cameron Sutton is a beast. All right. Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton is a beast. Tim Patrick's been playing well. Didn't we have Tim Patrick at one point? I could have sworn he was on the Ravens.
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, like, I mean, this has to be a get right game for the defense. Like, they have to play better. They have to show teams that they just can't go out there and just fling the ball around. They got Noah Fant too, so that's another good tight end. Tight ends have been exposing us, guys. They've been exposing us, so they're gonna have to shut down the run. But yes, I still expect them to win. I still expect us to win. Score prediction. Jeez, Lamar should have had at least 3 touchdowns last week. And I think Hollywood is not going to, because Hollywood had such an awful game. I expect Hollywood to have 2 touchdowns this week, guys. 2 touchdowns this week. Okay. I'm going to say we're going to win 35-17. We're going to win big.
Okay.
Yep.
Obviously the big news for Baltimore, they activated Rashad Bateman and Miles Boykin off of IR. So they're practicing now. Not sure if they're going to play. I would guess not. I would assume they're not going to play this week. But they are getting back Brandon Williams, Justin Houston, I believe. Who was the third guy now? I can't even remember. The third guy who was on the COVID list last week. They're all coming back.
Matabike.
Yes, Matabike. There we go. Lamar was on last week. He had a great game, despite what people like Mike Golick will tell you, because he obviously didn't watch the game. Lamar was fantastic. I think Hollywood, I agree that he bounces back in a big way. He was really good the first 2 weeks. And I mean, he was even, doing well in the Detroit game until, he forgot his hands halfway through. So I think he bounces back. I think that the Ravens defense has to step up. I think that they get a couple interceptions off of Teddy, and they do win big. I'm going to say 38-10.
Okay. All right. 2 big win predictions over here. And Raven Ron says, yes, Tim White and Tim Patrick were former Ravens practice squad. Yes. And now Tim Patrick looked like he's trying to get paid. Our guy Helio Dominguez is here from Brazil. Is in the house. What's up, man? He said they are quite washed. If we had our starting duel, our team would be strong. Oh, talking about Dobbins and Gus Edwards. Look, for sure. I mean, I think they're better quality running backs than what we have right now. But we don't have the running game revolves around Lamar.
Yeah.
And I think the problem, I do agree. I think Dobbins does hurt because here's why. I do think they're trying to get away from Lamar running the ball, right? When the going gets tough, that's when you see more, okay, Lamar, you got to do what you do out there to open up the run game.
It's funny, right? Because you say that, but Lamar is 4th in the league in rushing right now through 3 games.
I think a lot of it came from that Kansas City game, though, I bet.
I'm sure. But, a lot of people are kind of down on the running backs. The big thing for Gus Edwards, everybody, likes to say is, oh, he averaged 5 yards a carry every year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tyson Williams is averaging 6. They need to give him the ball, right?
Yes.
Baltimore is the number 1 rushing team in the league again.
Yeah.
Because again, their run game revolves around Lamar Jackson, and when you have a player like Lamar Jackson, it doesn't really matter who you have at running back. Yeah, I mean, J.K. Dobbins is extremely talented, so obviously you would want him out there. But with him gone, they're the best rushing team in the league.
Yeah.
So they don't.
That's a good point.
It doesn't particularly matter. Obviously, you'd like to have guys in there who can be, more of a part of the passing game. I don't think Devontae Freeman has anything left. But yeah, in terms of just running the ball, it all revolves around Lamar and the threat that he poses to defenses. I mean, you see it every time he takes a step forward, all 11 guys react on defense.
I would say Devontae Freeman, when he can hit that wide open hole, he still got some acceleration. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't. None of these running backs need to make anybody miss. Just hit the hole when it's wide open, and he can get some chunk yards. So there's a purpose for him on the team. You got him going east and west, and you wasted it down. But
yeah, but that's because he's done. I mean, yeah, these guys are all still great athletes, right? Anybody can run in a straight line when there's nobody trying to stop them.
Yes, yeah.
But
Adit wants to know, when does Bateman make his debut? I say weeks 5 to 6 in a limited role. Week 7 is the breakout game. Okay. Yeah, it could be. I don't think he's going to play this week. I don't know if Boykin's going to play this week either. I'll say this: when Boykin gets out there, you're going to see a difference in the run game, especially on those outside runs.
Yeah, I really think that Bateman comes back. I think both of them come back week 5. I don't think either one of them is going to play this week, and I think that Bateman will make an impact from day one. I'm not saying that he's going to have 120 yards or anything like that, but I think that you'll feel his impact from day one. On the offense.
Well, you said my man Jay says, okay, LBHT crew, what's going on? Oh, he's in the house.
What's going on, Jason?
Hey, thanks for coming through, Jason, man. Appreciate you coming through.
And we gotta let you know that we have posted the music on Twitter a couple times, man.
A couple times, yes. His name is Verse, VERS. His Twitter handle is VERSGBOS, GBoss. Get bent out of shape. That's his production company, I think. But dope producer.
Dropped a new album, right?
Yeah, I forget the name of it. I just purchased it. But yeah, maybe we'll pin it. We'll pin the link there. But yes, he's from the DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia area. Yeah, he produced our intro. I think he did Mikey's intro too for Off the Record podcast.
Okay.
I think I heard him mention that before. So yeah, man. Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. But all right, we got 57 people in here, man. Make sure you guys hit that like button. And if you new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, man. We do a show every Wednesday night at 7:15 p.m. Immediately after the show, we do an overtime show, which is lots of fun, man. Lots of guys that you see in the chat be hanging out with us. Some of them come on screen. We talk about anything and everything. And if you want to be a part of that, right above me, patreon.com/LBHT Show. We have 2 tiers, $3 tier and the $10 tier. And B is going to tell you real quick about those 2 tiers.
Yeah, so with the $3 tier, you get entrance into the overtime show that Jose just mentioned that we do every week following this live show. Like you said, we talk about everything in sports and everything out of sports. It's a lot of fun. You also get entrance into our yearly Survivor League, where it's kind of a you make one pick, your pick wins, you move on, they lose, you're out, and the last person standing gets a trophy that you saw earlier in the show at the end of the season. On the $10 tier, we have a couple of the Founders coins left. So for a limited time, you get a Founders coin. That also gets you an on-screen invite into the Overtime show. You can come on screen and chat with us, about whatever. It gives you the ability to request specific content if you want to see specific articles or videos. You can request that and we'll produce that for you. It also gets you entrance into our yearly fantasy football league where we play for the custom championship belt.
Look at that. Look at that.
We're going to be converting that into a dynasty league. So, in following years, we're going to have the logos for the teams that win on the side plates. So, it gets a little history going there. Obviously this season is going to be the Hurricanes taking that home. But anybody, in theory, any of y'all can win that.
Yeah, man.
And that's in our $10 tier as well.
Yeah, so we have lots of fun. All right, so yes, definitely sign up, man. Patreon, it's worth it, man. As little as $3, you can have a lot of fun with us. But if you can't help out financially, man, it's all good. A way that you can really help us out is just by following us on our social media at LBHT Show, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Also, check out our website, lbhtshow.com. We have a store on there. We have all kinds of merch, like you see here. There's articles. B writes a bunch of articles. I put our audio version of this on there. So, yeah, man, check us out. And real quick, before we get to our guests, our man Sterling, hold on. Sterling, what's going on, man? Shout out to you, man. Thanks for coming through. And Helio has a question here. I want to read Helio's question because we haven't seen him in a while. Thank you, Spirit of Justice. He says, dope belt. Helio says, guys, we discussed that last year. What you guys thinking about the passing schemes for Roman and the passing game in general? I see it getting better, slowly, a little bit better. What do you think? I think Lamar's better.
Yeah, that's kind of my feeling as well. Lamar is better. The talent around him is better. Sammy Watkins is better than the vet receivers they've had in the past. Hollywood's getting better. I still see receivers kind of running in the same area at times. Not a lot of spacing there. I don't think that Lamar. I don't think that Greg Roman is evolving or getting better. I think the passing game will improve as the talent improves. I think you're going to see another big jump when Rashad Bateman gets out there and really gets into the swing of things. I don't think that we can really attribute that to Greg Roman. Right. I think it is Lamar and the wide receivers getting better. And I think you'll see a jump as well when Ronnie Stanley gets back and they're able to actually, kind of get into a groove pass blocking. Tyree Phillips also has to get back. So once they stabilize the offensive line, get Rashad Bateman out there, I think you'll see another improvement. But I don't really think it's Greg Roman. I'm not trying to put Roman down or anything, but I would attribute it more to the talent.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you said that last year too. Roman doesn't necessarily have to get better. He just needs better talent around him and we can win.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're going to get to our the betting part of our show. For all of you degenerate gamblers out there, we brought on a guest. Now, before we bring him on, Eric L says, when is Mr. Action Jackson having 35 to 40 passing attempts per game this year? In this offense, that would mean we are
getting stomped out.
Yes, we are in a bad way.
So you might see that in the playoffs if things are going really poorly.
Yeah.
I don't see that. I don't think that they'll push him that far.
And I hope not before, at least until Ronnie Stanley gets back.
I was saying, unless Rashad Bateman comes in and hits the ground running the way Justin Jefferson did, and they just feel like, hey, we're just going to open it up.
Yeah.
But I don't really see that happening.
All right, so there's a lot of comments in here. We can't get to everyone right now, but if you really need your comment read or you just want to, support the show, right above B. There you go. $ LBHT Show. That's the Cash App. Or you can hit that pinned comment. That'll take you to our Streamlabs. Leave a comment. Leave your donation. We'll read your comment on air. But right now, we're gonna bring up our man Derek. Okay. What's up, Derek? How you doing, man? Thanks for coming through.
What's going on, fellas?
If you guys
everybody doing tonight?
We're doing great, man.
Well, man.
If you guys have any questions for Derek, like I said, Cash App or hit up the Streamlab or just try to throw your comment in there, see if we can get to it real quick. But Derek's going to hit you with some good picks this week. How we do last week, Derek?
Well, we're coming off another 2-3 week, but there was some close games. I'd like to see the Baltimore game go the other direction. You won outright, lost on that big spread.
Right.
I was right with my Panthers, but I don't think that was much of a matchup. We've all seen what Houston is going through. This week I seen that, a couple things y'all said I do agree with like the Panthers matchup and Baltimore's matchup. I know one thing I didn't hear y'all mention that I think might play a factor that not many people are thinking about, the atmosphere, it being a Denver home game. You could see this team come in and that first half struggle, not necessarily any specific big mistakes, but not, lead to some of the things like what you saw in Detroit with Holly Brown, where a simple drop could cost you 7 points. And, in a game like that where you got a little larger spread than usual, 7 points can go a long way. But this week, let's see. I'll go ahead and just start off with the Panthers game. Like I said, I did see a lot of people in the chat, not big on the Panthers scoring, but that could be a factor in this game. The question, though, and something that I think is translated from last year, is how well can defense stop people, or how well can Dallas's defense stop people from throwing the ball? We saw, I don't have the stats right in front of me, but I don't think we've really seen many teams struggle with the passing game, and that's part of why we've seen some of these close games out of Dallas.
Right.
We saw Brady the first night, Stafford week 2, I believe. And so, I do think it's possible for Darnold to come out there, put up 250, maybe 300 yards, something like that. But I do think this defense is going to work that offensive line, because I don't think they've played the defense as good. Well, they played Tampa, but Tampa,
they're struggling a little bit on defense right now.
Yeah, and also some of Tampa's strengths is what you see with the Panthers. A defensive tackle like a Vita Vea, a Derek Brown might come in and just cause havoc, which may not lead to the sack, but leads to that bad pass or, that errant throw that turns into a turnover. So I'm going to be on the Panthers with the +5. I know I've been accused of being a homer, but until I'm wrong, I dare somebody to say otherwise. So, yeah. With the Baltimore game, like I said, something I'll be watching for, the atmosphere, how players are looking, fatigue, things like that. I know when this first came out, the spread was, I believe before Sunday it was -1. It's been bouncing back and forth. Right now it's a straight up pick 'em. I got the Ravens at +1. You might see it anywhere in between that +1 to -1 range. A game like that, if you just want to put it on, make a bet on the money line, it's basically the same odds, and you don't have to worry about some sort of push or getting caught on the hook, which is something we saw, I believe, last week in one of the games. So, yes, this week I'll be on the Ravens as well with that +1. For the Sunday night game, we have the rematch of Brady and Belichick in New England, which I think a lot of people think could get ugly. I think they'll win possibly by 10, 14 points. I don't necessarily think it'll be a blowout to that degree, because unless they don't let up off the throttle and they get up early, I could see that game finishing, somewhere, final score being a potential, 30-31 to 17, somewhere in that range, 17-20. New England hasn't been I've seen a lot worse offenses this season, I think, out of like the Jets, and you could even make the argument about the Saints and the way they've been, their lack of ability to move the ball in a lot of instances. Even in that Green Bay game, they put up a lot of points. They didn't have far to go to do it. So, with that Tampa Bay game, I got it at -6.5. I do like that number. with the way Tom Brady's been playing, and even pieces like Giovanni Bernard stepping in and producing in the way they'd like to see him. You know, he may not be there every game bringing in points or things like that, but that change of pace and that versatility, that's something we've seen in the past with like a Kansas City and some of your more powerful offenses. So I definitely think that they can cover that spread. Monday night, we have the Raiders taking on the Chargers. I think there's a lot of hype behind the Chargers offense. I think Herbert is a quality quarterback. I just don't think they'll do it this week. I think the Raiders are going to come in. They're a little bit of a more veteran team, a more put together team. It seems like the Chargers have sort of just been piecing it together from season to season. I'm not sure if I thought I remembered them losing a running back for the season at the beginning of the year. I could be wrong.
The Chargers, no, I don't believe they lost any of their backs. They still got Austin Eckler out there. I'm not sure who they have in terms of backing up right now.
My bad, I was muted. Yeah, in the chat. If you guys know, put it in the chat. I don't think they lost anybody. Yeah.
I know why you would think that, because the Chargers are always losing people.
Yeah.
But I think they.
Well,
I think
it might have something to do with that medical staff over there in,
puncturing
San
lungs.
Diego.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do like the Raiders in this game to cover. Or actually, let me double check. No, actually, the Raiders were getting 3.5 points in this game. So that being said, being a road underdog by that little bit, they're almost calling it a straight pick 'em.
Justin Jackson's back up. Yeah.
Okay. The way Carr's been playing so far this season, I think they come out and put up points, and I think we could see another shootout like what we saw with the Chiefs, where if the Chargers win, it's by that field goal, it's by that 4-point difference. So, it's going to be right in there with that spread, but I do think the Raiders can win this one outright.
All right.
And then the last game for the week, let me double check. Yeah, I was on Tennessee -7. They're taking on the Dolphins. Dolphins offense has been horrible. If you won't, go ahead and look at the Dolphins team total under. That's something I've looked at in a couple instances with teams like the Jags, the Jets. That number does start to get low. I'm not exactly sure off the top of my head where I saw Miami's number, but it was somewhere in that 17, 18 point range. But yeah, Mike Vrabel led team. I don't know if he's specifically running the defense, but I'd be shocked if he didn't have some fingerprints on that defense. I see them coming in and, Derrick Henry on offensive side of the ball, controlling the ball. You may not see your traditional blowout, but I think like the other week with the Bills where you saw like a 34-0, in this case, you might see more a 17-20 to 3, 17-6, something along those lines. But I do see Tennessee covering this game.
Okay. You had a question here from Raven Ron. He's got a 3-team parlay: Tampa Bay -7, Titans -7, and the Vegas
Chargers.
Vegas Chargers over 52.5. What do you think?
If that's the Chargers game, I like where that total's sitting at. That would put each team right about 26. With that spread that I was just talking about, you're talking potentially what I was just saying, a 27-23 game. Something maybe like things get a little funky, a missed extra point. You have, 28-25, something along those lines. So I could see that total coming in, and with those other two, like I said, I like Tampa Bay going up against New England. Did I have it at the same? I had it at 6.5. Sometimes that point, does come into play. If you feel comfortable with it at that number, I'd say play it. with a parlay, me personally, I do like to play a smaller unit just because your payout traditionally is better, and also the more risk involved. And if you're going to increase that risk, there's no reason putting the same amount online, even if you already play a small unit or just typically make just a small wager. If you typically make a $10 bet or something like that, on a parlay, feel free to only put down $5. Because if you're talking about usually with a 3-4 leg parlay, you might see, depending on what you're picking on, somewhere in the range of about plus 300, plus 400. So even in an instance where you only played $5 on your bet, plus 300, you're talking about, I believe, getting 15 back in return. So, the one thing I definitely will preach is if you feel confident about it, then that's where you start. You play that. So I think Tampa will cover. Like I said, I do think the Raiders could end up in a shootout. So, yeah, I could see those coming through in that parlay potentially hitting. And definitely let us know how it goes if you do decide to play it. I'm not sure if he's in the Discord. But, at least, let us know. Be proud of the plays you make because it's not easy doing this stuff. People like to sit there and tell you they're experts and stuff like that. But, especially pregame, a lot can be said about some of the stuff you can do with live betting. But pregame, it's no easy task. So like I said,
Right.
If you feel confident about a number or what you're seeing, or you feel like nobody is, everybody else is wrong. I'm pretty sure anybody that bet on Detroit last week was telling everybody else they were wrong.
Good point.
Yeah. Shout out to the Chicago Bears who cost me my 14 parlay last week by allowing 9 sacks and 15 QB hits on 20 pass attempts.
Wow.
That is a stellar effort, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I would have told you to stay off Chicago to begin with. I hate that offense this year. I mean,
I was betting on my guy Justin Fields, man. It was his first game. Cleveland's looked a little shaky. I'm gonna go with it. But yeah.
All right, all right, Derek, appreciate you coming on. We're going to get into the bonus time now. If you got more questions for Derek, you can go ahead and hit up that patreon.com/LBHT show. He's usually there hanging out with us. You might see him there tonight. You got some more questions, you can hit him up over there. Derek, appreciate you coming on, man.
All right, no problem, fellas.
All right. Yes, let's do some bonus time real quick, and then we're going to head over to the overtime show. Let's see. Let's get this started here. Bonus time. That's what I'm talking about. Bonus time. All right, this is the time where you can ask us any questions you want. You want to talk more Ravens? We can talk Ravens. You want to talk about anything else? Yes, we need more Derek content. Yes, Derek comes on every week. Gives us some betting odds. I'm not a gambler, but look. If you're new to gambling, he's a guy that you want to hit up. He'll give you some good advice. He can explain things to you. If you got any questions, if you don't know anything about betting at all, you just want to do like a parlay or something like that, ask questions. Anything that you want, ask questions when he's on there. He'll answer those questions for you. I mean, Attitude Pop is here. What's going on, man? He says you got to realize he says Pat Mahomes is kind of overrated. It's kind of overrated. Him and Lamar is not far from each other, and everyone's saying that they're going to figure out Lamar. It seems like they figured out Mahomes. Mahomes is not overrated. Lamar's not overrated. Like, they're both really good. Mahomes is better than Lamar, right? He's better than Lamar. Just because, I mean, we're judging this off of 3 games, man. You guys don't unplug from mainstream media.
Listen, that's what happens in the offseason, though. Like the offseason is long, and football fans get desperate for the NFL to come back, right? And so, I mean, we do it too. That week 1, week 2 hits, and you got to get off all the takes. Right?
Yeah. You're talking about a team that expects to be in the Super Bowl. Do you know how boring the early part of the season is for a team like the Chiefs that know they're going to be playing in the postseason? The Chiefs know they're going to the postseason. Like, they don't doubt that. They don't think, oh man, we start out 1-2, we're in trouble. They know they're going to be in the playoffs, and they'll turn it on in the playoffs. They don't need to be the 1 seed. They can go anywhere and beat anybody. It doesn't matter.
They lost to Baltimore, and the reaction was like, oh well.
Yeah.
You
That
know,
was
it's
the
like
reaction after
like
they lost the Super Bowl. You see
oh,
Tyreek
yeah.
Hill say he's like, "We'll get
we'll
him
be
next
back.
year."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the same thing with Aaron Rodgers when they got beat 38-3 in week 1. He was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Because
And they
they
responded.
know.
They
Know how
certain
good the
teams,
team is.
yo, guys, like certain teams know. Like they know what they have on the roster. They're not worried about it. All right. These early losses, this early stumbling, they know they're not in rhythm yet. It'll get together. Hell, even the Steelers, like you're Mike Tomlin. You've never had a losing season. You're not faced by any of this.
Right.
We looked it up. What year was it? They started out.
If you see Ben Roethlisberger drop back to pass, try to move, and just fall over, you might be a little phased by that.
He's not phased by it. He's seen that coming the whole time. He knew what he was going to be working with. What year was that? They started like 0-4 or something like that.
I forget. I want to say it was 2013. They started 0-4 and they ended up finishing 8-8.
Yeah, but even in that year, like, no, they didn't make the playoffs, but they didn't have a losing record either. Like certain teams have a lot of confidence. All right, and Pat Mahomes, okay, he lost 2 games in September for the first time ever.
Right. They also
not
had a
big
brutal opening schedule for Kansas City. Those are 3 really tough games. Helio says, as you guys know, I'm not from the U.S., so it's not that easy to watch college games. Can Rashad Bateman be a game changer in the passing game for the Ravens? Absolutely, yes. That guy, Rashad Bateman, he's a really good route runner, got really good hands, and he can get open all over the field. But he is going to give them that what they've been missing on the outside. I mean, no disrespect to Sammy Watkins, but he's going to give them that kind of number 1 type wide receiver on the outside, who can he's going to be consistent. I think a consistent player, a guy that Lamar can really look to lean on, and can always go to him. And I think he does also offer big playability, and I think that once he gets out there and really gets into the groove of things, he's going to open up everything. He's going to open up the passing game for Hollywood as well. I think you're going to see a major improvement there.
Yes, I agree with everything you're saying. All I'm going to say is don't expect all of that in his rookie year. Like, I think people are thinking we found, like we found our AB, we found our Julio Jones, we found that, we found our DeAndre Hopkins, we found our top 5 wide receiver in Rashad Bateman in year 1, right? Because when Hollywood had a bad game last week, it's like, oh, Rashad Bateman wouldn't drop that pass. Yes, he would.
Yeah, he will. But
he will. He will have
every receiver does.
Every receiver has a bad game. Because this is another thing me and B discussed. How many of you guys? Look, Devontae Adams. Where do you guys rank Devontae Adams in terms of wide receivers? 1, 2, 3. Like, where do you have him ranked in terms of top wide receivers in the league? Do you know Devontae Adams by a lot of people was considered a bust? He had a terrible rookie year.
Yeah, his first couple of years weren't great. He had about 450 yards in his rookie year, and his second year, a total of, I believe it was 3 touchdowns. And then he came back in his third year and went over 900 yards and 12 touchdowns.
Yeah. Garnett has him at 3. Puppy has him at 1. He's one of the top wide receivers in the league. That's the point. He wasn't good his first couple of years.
Got him in the top 5.
Yeah.
Sometimes for some guys it takes a while. Justin Jefferson last year, he came in and I mean, he set the league on fire. That is not the norm.
No,
it's not the norm at all.
It's not.
But I do think that Bateman will have a bigger impact than his numbers for Baltimore.
Yeah. Garnett says crawl, walk, run with Bateman. Yeah. Bateman's not going to, he's not going to get the targets. Lamar's is trying to get Hollywood paid this year. Bateman's not going to get that kind of workload. And coming off an injury, you don't need to rush him into that kind of role. Let him grow into that. But yes, I do think long term, Bateman and Hollywood are going to be our main guys, and that's going to pay off for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You also got to remember that he didn't really get any work with Lamar in the offseason.
Right.
Lamar was out the first, week or 2 of training camp, and then Bateman got hurt. So they didn't really get to work together. So it's going to take a little time to build that chemistry and trust between the two of them. Yeah. But I do think he'll go out there and he'll be able to, get open consistently and test the defense, and I think that'll open things up for other guys.
I want to read this question by Raven Ron. He says, "What do you think the Ravens would have looked now if we signed Colin Kaepernick in 2017 and not drafted Lamar?" So I think Kaepernick still had a lot of football left. I mean, it's hard to say he can do anything now. He's been out of the league for a while, but I think at that point he had a lot of football left. I think we'd have looked really good. Will we have missed out on Lamar? Who knows? We could have still gotten Lamar. Lamar didn't get drafted until the end of the first round, right? They could have signed him for a year and said, "All right, we still want to draft the quarterback." You know what I mean? Like, had we signed him, he wasn't going to necessarily be there for longer than a year anyway.
Yeah, I think they would look like a worse version of what you currently see. Kaepernick, I like Kaepernick, but he wasn't the quarterback that Lamar is, running or throwing, I don't think. So you would see, I think they would have missed the playoffs last year. I think they probably would have missed the playoffs 2018. But, that 2019 team obviously was outstanding all the way around. They still would have gotten to the playoffs there. But yeah, I think just a worse version of what you're seeing right now. So, good for Baltimore that they picked up Lamar, and that Super Bowl window is going to be open for the next decade now.
Yeah. Felipe says, "Look at Le'Veon Bell's last tweet. Man is playing Sunday. Good luck." Look, I think we'll see.
All right, Leo.
Me and Monroe says, "Don't know why I'm here, but I went into a YouTube spiral. Didn't even watch football. I'm a soccer fan from UK." Hey, okay, all right.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, man.
Hey, one of these days we'll talk a little. What is that? Everton? What league is that?
That's the Premier League.
Premier League.
Yeah.
Our man Ferris knows more about. I don't want to disrespect you to call it soccer, right? Football. All right. So you get Ferris is in the chat. You can chat with him a little bit. Look, we're open to other things. Okay, you want to come in here and discuss a little. It's got to be top news. If you start asking us some real football questions or soccer questions, you're gonna lose us. Ferris can chat it up with you though. Football. That's right, Davon. Football. All right. But thanks for coming through, man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Cap over RG3. That's what RTV is asking. Yes, I would have taken Cap over RG3.
Well, no, he's not asking. He is saying it. RG3 was horrible.
Got you. Yes, yeah. I think look, I'm not one of those guys. I'm not big footy man. Footy. Hey, I've learned footy. My bad. I've been educated. Thank you, Liam.
Oh, Felipe, always trolling, man. The Premier League, okay.
Oh, here we go. Fight.
All right, Leo. Thanks for coming through, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah. That was funny. And thank you to YouTube, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm not one of those big good for a locker room, bad for a locker room guys, but I do think RG3 brought a certain type of energy to the locker room and a certain type of attitude, because he has a positive attitude,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it hurt having him there. You know what I mean?
Right.
But was he needed? No, he probably wasn't needed.
No, and they've got a really solid backup now, Tyler Huntley. I imagine he won't be there for too much longer, but the Lamar and Huntley's a great combo. It's gonna suck when it's Lamar and Trace, but it is what it is. You can't, if Huntley can play, you won't be able to hold on to him for too long. Yeah.
All right, we'll read a couple more comments and then we're gonna go over to the overtime show. And like I said before, if you're new here,
what you mean reckless? What'd he do?
He said if Arden, he could have been special. Well, hold on, real quick before I answer that. If you're new here, hit that like button. Also subscribe. We do a show every Wednesday night, 7:15 p.m. Got 45 people in here. Like I said, hit that like button. In a few minutes, we're going over to the overtime show, which you can find on patreon.com/LBHT Show. All right, for as little as $3. All right, you can come hang out with us, and we talk about anything and everything, kind of like what we're talking about right now, but then more. RG3 wasn't reckless, man. I would say he went to a bad situation because the Shanahans, I think, ruined him. I'm not a Mike Shanahan or Kyle Shanahan. I don't like either one of them.
Yeah,
Kyle can coach, but I don't like him.
RG3 wasn't reckless. He was unlucky. He had he had a couple of unfortunate injuries that really took it out of him. You know, and like you said, he didn't have the support of the coaching staff. But it just kind of went that way. It's unfortunate.
And not just the Shanahan's. Jay Gruden helped further ruin him as well. Look, the difference between RG3.
Right, thank you, Helio. Thank you for coming through.
Hey, thanks for coming through, Helio. The difference between RG3 and Kirk Cousins is just support. Yeah. That's all it is. They showed they had unwavering support for Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins he's I don't think he's a good quarterback now. He puts up good numbers, but I don't think he's a good quarterback. Right. But they just stuck it out with him. He had a game where he threw like 4 interceptions, and they're like, yeah, it's just the win. No big deal.
Appreciate that, Liam. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thanks for subscribing, man. And we're going to talk more footy just for you. Okay. We're going to throw a footy fact in every bonus time show from here on out, if we remember. A footy fact.
Listen, the knee could have been saved. I mean, it could have been saved if the Shanahans took him out of the game when he was obviously injured. That's when the knee went bad.
Yeah, people remember the Nada hit. That's what he's talking about. People remember that. That didn't derail his career. People can come back from that. But you brought him back for the playoffs against the Seahawks. He shouldn't have played that game.
Yeah, and he hurt it in that game as well, and they didn't take him out. And he was kind of hobbling around. There was a bad snap. He was trying to pick it up, and that's when he tore his ACL.
Yep.
And even that, he came back from that. And I believe it was his first game back against Jacksonville. He was rolling out and just kind of, he landed wrong on his ankle, dislocated his ankle, missed most of that season. And that was all the justification that the Shanahans needed to move on. Or it may even have been Gruden at that point. But, they wanted Cousins. They moved on to Cousins.
Yeah, it wasn't after he became damaged goods. Garner saying it's after he became damaged goods. They drafted Cousins in the same draft.
Yeah,
they never wanted RG3.
Right.
So I mean, he was destined to fail from the get go. Like, you have to have support of the coaching staff when you bring in a new quarterback. If you bring in a quarterback and your coach doesn't want him, coach got to go.
Yeah.
If you make the decision as an owner, not even a GM, well, GM or owner, if you make the decision, this is a quarterback that we want here, and your coach says, I'm not feeling that pick, see you later. You're out of here. I'm not giving you a chance to change your mind. You're gone because your heart's not in it, right? You're not putting your effort into that guy. That you don't see him as your guy. You got to go. I'm bringing somebody in here. And the next coach I bring in, because they messed up too by bringing in Jay Gruden, and Jay Gruden wasn't completely committed. They should have said, the only way you're getting this job is if you're fully in on RG3. You have no other quarterback on this roster to look at. This is your guy. That's it, right? If you're not willing to do that, then I'll get the job to somebody else.
He said 100% agree, but at the same time, you got to take care of yourself. Listen, Garnett, you want to talk about derailing?
If you 100% agree, there's no but, Garnett. It's simple math.
Listen, if you're talking about derailing his career, if he had said, you know what, no, I'm not going back in this playoff game, he would have been finished.
Yeah, you know that. Come on.
The media already, I mean, they loved hopping on the rookie of the year and everything, but they would have turned on RG3 so unbelievably fast if he said, I'm not going back in this game.
Look what they did to my man Cuddy, right? Jay Cutler's like, man, I can't go. Oh, he doesn't care. He's a quitter.
He's an alcoholic. Come on, man.
I know he's got a beer face, but come on, man. All right, we are going to end it there. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us, man. Appreciate you coming through. We are going over to the Overtime Show. For our patron members, give us a few minutes. In fact, the link is already on patreon.com. You can go ahead and click on it. Just give us a few minutes and we will start that up. Everybody else, if you want to hang out with us, there's the link, patreon.com/LBHT Show. If not, we will see you guys probably on Sunday, maybe Sunday night-ish. Yeah, we usually do a live stream after the games. We'll play it by ear this weekend. I'll tell y'all a quick story about. Okay. All right. He's gonna tell us a story. Story time.
Crazy. We crazy, right?
All right, y'all. That's it. We will see you guys next time. Peace out.